and also I'm accompanied with the real, genuine evidence of the map, which I should say I found from the history itself, the real one. But this is the copy of it. I used it for the budget committee the other day, and I showed it to even to Prime Minister Abe and Foreign Minister Kishida, and they are so stunned that the event. And I will explain later on. This is the real text of the Mao Zedong's words. So later on, I will say. First of all, I'm very happy to make this statement. The Senkaku Islands are territory inherently part of Japan. Chairman Mao Zedong had authorized these historical facts. Since July of 2012, official vessels from China have consistently encroached upon Japanese zones bordering the Senkaku Islands, while intruding even into the territorial waters. At times, these intrusions into contiguous zones have occurred on 20 separate days in a single month, and 2 to 3 days monthly in territorial waters. Such actions are nothing but gross insult and humiliation to the Japanese nation and are grave violations to its sovereignty. Japan cannot bear this situation and has naturally shown persistent protests against these violations. There is a pressing necessity to assert the legitimacy and status quo of Japanese vested interests. Historically, in January 1895, the Japanese government officially rendered a cabinet decision to incorporate the Senkaku Islands into its national territory. This move came after an extensive survey conducted over some 10 years and was implemented pursuant to the procedures of prior occupation under international law. Over the following 75 years, no nation voiced any objections with regard to the valid control exercised by Japan. Numerous records also testify to the fact that over 200 Japanese lived and worked on these islands during that time. It was not until December 1971 that China began to claim of the sovereignty over the area. Up to then, China itself had recognized the islands as being Japanese territory. All available materials attest to this fact and are also unified in that use of the name Senkaku Islands to refer to these lands. In 1953, for example, such materials were carried in the People's Daily News, the national official organ of the Chinese Communist Party. Materials from 1960, meanwhile, contain mention of the same assessment in the context of an official map of China in an atlas as well as in school textbooks and other formats. On this occasion now, disclosure is being made of a new map. These materials were produced in 1969 and published by the National Administration Surveying, Mapping and Geo-Information of the People's Republic of China. References made to the name Senkaku Islands, while the quotations from Chairman Mao Zedong are attached as the introductory text. Within these quotations, the following statement is considered to be relevant to this area. Listen. There are many rivers, lakes, and marshes that have granted us the blessings of water transport and irrigations, while we likewise benefit from a long coastline that has provided great conveniences of transportation with various overseas peoples. From times of old, the ancestors of we Chinese people worked, lived, and increased the descendants within these vast lands. In this connection, the state guest house, from 1971, China halted use of the term尖閣Islands in favor of the name Diaoyu Islands. In this connection, the state guest house in Beijing was also accorded the official name of the Diaoyu guest house. Now, we Japanese strongly urge the Chinese government to stop such unlawful intrusions instantly. Japan's position is entirely based upon the rule of law and justice, and the common notion of the modern world is the objective evidence. Above all, real evidence is the only testimony to solve any legal issues. And estoppel is another decisive principle of the international law of today. Man must not say opposite today to the words which he himself said yesterday. This is nothing but a simple common sense anybody is accustomed in today's daily life. I would still refer to a Priya Dihia case between Thailand and Cambodia. This was done by the International Court of Justice 2013. And that's all I wanted to say first. And then as soon as I disclosed this news, the Chinese people, including the Chinese government, announced some information, such as one is this resource is faked by the Japanese people, or probably Japanese harada. And also then the Chinese government spokesman the other day said that this is only if he believes this is the truth, but the only one or two evidence is not enough because the Chinese have 100 or even 1,000 evidences with them. So I urge them to come here and show it. I don't want 1,000 or 100, but at least one or two of their evidence. That's all I wanted to say.
And today my role is as acting chairman of Mr. Harada's committee. This is the very first time that either Japanese government or LDP present to the public that this book. So I already presented to Mr. Simons this book. And this book history is when we returned to the power in 2012. We started to formulate 2013's budget, and we insist to include publicity budget over territorial issues, including尖閣. Actually,尖閣is not a territorial issue, but we have to say that we have to show that it's a Japanese territory, historically and logically. And even Ministry of Finance didn't know that such a precious photograph and maps has been carefully preserved by Okinawa people, ex-Ryukyu government officials, and University of Ryukyu's professors and researchers. They have been continuously landing upon Uotsuri or Kitajima to examine rare species such as Senkaku Mogura, assorted moa, or some plants which only exist in these islands. And which is more clear that probably you know that it was 1972 that Okinawa was reverted to Japan. In May 1972, Okinawa was reverted to Japan. And beforeward, it was United States Civil Administration of Ryukyu Island, USCAR, which was controlling Okinawa, including Senkaku Islands. This is the proof that upon these islands, there is a statute that shows that Senkaku Islands, foreign fishery cannot enter into its territorial sea. So it's illegal to fish within Senkaku Islands territory. It's written in English, and this statute is established by USCAR, and it's still standing. And then there are a series of photos that, under the control of USCAR, Ryukyu Immigration Administration Office has been actively controlling and catching violation of the territorial waters and illegal fishing. There are a series of photos. So, honorably, I present to you for press class. Thank you very much. ここは言論の場だから申し上げに来たんですが、中国の副報道官は定期的に会見をしておりますし、中国の世界中に散っている大使たちも、私が知っている限りで数件、その尖閣諸島に対する中国の領有権を明確に主張するその意見広告を、これはフランスだったらフランスの一流の新聞ペーパー、ル・モンドだったかエコーだったか忘れましたが、その大使として出してますよ。つまり言論の場においても彼らの方が非常にアグレッシブであって、我々の方が、ホームページに外務省が載せているぐらいでおとなしいので、おそらく記者の方もあまりこういうことをお気になってなかったと思います。だから我々はそれをむしろイーブンにする上でこういうことをやっと始めて、こういうことを在京の大使館に今日から外務省が全部届け始めるというのもその一環だし、ジャパンハウスを作って広報するというのも一環だし、今まであまりにも広報がパブリシティが中国側が100だったら日本が7か8だったものを少し均衡させるように持っていくことで世論形成を図りたいというのは私は実にノーマルな考えだと思います。
どこの地図でもね、国境を記した時にこれなんです。ですから今台湾と日本という意味ではですね、そこは非常にはっきりしてるんではないかなと思います。それから先ほど大田と語録の中でロングコーストラインという言葉を僕あえて言いましたけど、これはね、私の理解ではこのことをね、ロングコーストラインで諸外国と親善の交流を長い間続けてきた、こういうふうに理解しております。尖閣諸島という以上ここで切るとおかしいんだ。
Why is this part, additional part, just like this? If you map a map, it's gonna follow a rule. That's a rule, okay?